talked about the bottom, talked about the top, or at least the top three. Anyway, the ones that are probably the only ones really in any sort of title race. Even though that's probably top two now, to be honest. So moving on to Manchester United versus West Ham, which is the battle for fourth. Really important game in the battle for fourth. In fact, these two teams switching places on the result of Manchester United. Snatching it in the 93rd minute, third minute of injury time. Well, you know, good goal a good finish by Rashford, so to say. He's not been in a massive amount of form, although he scored two in the last two. But yeah, West Ham pushing up the right, maybe overcommitted, lost the ball, quick counter-attack. The ball finds its way to Rashford, bang in the back of the net. You know, for a guy who's not been in form, it was very measured finish, to be honest. Congratulations to him. Manchester United, yeah, now moving into fourth. You know, Rangnick's come in, he's done a decent enough job, I would say. You know, some people obviously criticise him after the defeat. He's come into that squad which has got a lot of personalities. We've said this a lot on OTV. There's a lot of egos in that dressing room, and it's not easy to galvanise a squad like Manchester United fans want when you've got all those egos, and you've still got Ferguson in a way who interfered a little bit, I think, in the transfer of Ronaldo in the summer, who's still pulling a few strings at the club. You know, it's a very difficult situation. You've got to feel for any manager who goes there at the moment, because it's a viper's nest basically, that club at the moment. And I think he's doing all right job actually, for what he's been given to work with. Obviously there's a lot of talent, but not a lot of team spirit, shall we say. But yeah, West Ham, unfortunately for them, they're starting to lose a few games now, and it's starting to show in their league position. They are in fifth, but they've played a lot more games than the teams around them, having not had breaks for COVID, essentially. Probably a lot of that is the fact they've had a lot of games and not had a break. Other teams around them essentially have had a break with COVID. So, you know, maybe they just need a bit of a respite. Obviously the FA Cup next weekend, so it's a little bit of a different sort of, you know, mentally it can change for you, playing in different competitions. You know, it's not the constant pressure of the league, where it's always the pressure is obviously, you know, win. I know that's the same in a cup, because you know you have to win, but it's a different sort of pressure, I think, and maybe that'll give them a bit of time to recuperate and come back afresh, because they've done excellent this season, and good luck to them. So moving on to Brentford versus Wolves. Wolves are another team who are knocking on that European door. They're currently in 8th, but they have got a game in hand on 2 games in hand on West Ham. So they can move pretty close to them. In fact, I think you can actually pass them. So they're only 3 points behind them at the moment. So, you know, they're in and around this mix. You know, they're not out of it. That means that they have actually got a chance of fourth, in my opinion. Because if you're in and around that mix at the moment, I think that, you know, a good run can really propel you up the table into that fourth spot, and they are on a good run. They've won 4, drawn 1 in the last 5. That's an excellent run. They already had a good run as well, a little bit earlier on in the season like that. You know, they deserve to be where they are. You know, they've got a solid defence. They're well organised, and you know, sure, against Brentford, you know, they've got some. They haven't scored a lot of goals this season, but that is starting to change now. You know, it's starting to get a few more goals. Great Neves goal. You know, great winner basically. They concede the goal they concede for the equaliser is that, you know, you leave Brentford's best player, top scorer at the back, alone at the back post. You know, I think there's only going to be one result from that. But you know, one lapse of concentration. But you know, in games gone by, this would have been a draw for them, because they just wouldn't have scored the second goal. But they got it this time. They have got it this time. And, you know, they're going well. Brentford, unfortunately for them, after a great start to the season, are starting to drop. A few more like this. I think they've lost 6 out of 7 games. A few more like this, and they are going to start looking like they're going to be in the relegation fight again. At the moment, they're not, which is why I've not mentioned them in that relegation fight. But you know, you've still got to win from here on in. You know, there's got to be a few games that you win, a few that you draw. You know, you've got to start accumulating those points now. Otherwise, you will be in the dogfight at the end of the season. Okay, and the last game on my list is Leicester versus Brighton. That's played today. Brighton has been going really strong this season with draws. They've basically been drawing all over the place, and yet again get one here with Welbeck, I think in the 82nd minute, I think it was, you know, equalising from Daka's earlier strike. This is what Brighton are about, basically. You know, they just don't give up, and they keep on fighting. They get the goal. Great team efforts all the time. Every single time I've seen them play, they always play as a team. I've had a lot of respect for them. I've been singing their praises all season. They've really impressed me. Only losing 4 games this season out of the games they played. They played 22 games. They've drawn more than half of those games. They've drawn 12, which is why they're not absolutely flying up the league. Only the top 3 have lost less than them. It's an amazing effort from them. After last season, you know, flirting a little bit with relegation and stuff like that, or the relegation dogfight, should I say, not really actually in the relegation zone that much. But yeah, you know, another point. It's a decent one, you know, away at Leicester. Leicester were a really good team last year, really inconsistent this year. We've said it a lot, and I'm sure their fans are absolutely livid as well with the performances this year. It's been up and down all year. This would represent normally for Leicester a bad result, but actually against this Brighton side, it's not a bad result for you at all. Still hanging around in the league, you know, around about the right area, you know, top half of the table, but really, you know, they're not looking like they're going to challenge for the European places this year after only just missing out on the Champions League place last couple of seasons. I think they've just missed out on it. So yeah, don't know what to say about Leicester really. We don't know where they're going to find the form from, because it's just not come at any point. Even when they've got the injuries coming back, that's not sparked a revival. Whatever it is, it doesn't seem like it's going to be fixable this season. It's maybe something that they're going to have to fix in the summer, and just plod on now to the end of the season and just finish as high as they can. Okay, so that wraps up the whole of the Premier League from this weekend. Thank you for listening. If you have listened, please subscribe if you like our content, if you like. From me, Matt, I'm out.